So what happened? Tall, very British.
Tall.
Tall, American. Love it, love it, love it. Google, what is that? Oh my God. I'm sorry, I have favorites. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Lola and on this channel we are talking about the journey of learning English language. And a short disclaimer, I'm not a language teacher, neither a linguist, not a wizard. I'm just sharing my experience and I hope it will help yours. Today we're gonna choose you're gonna choose the best online dictionary for your English learning journey. By the way, this video will have chapters, so if you're curious about my opinion on a specific dictionary, just scroll to and watch this portion of the video. So I created a list of the dictionaries that I love, that I use. But before jumping in, I decided, okay, my experience is great, amazing, but let's also ask ChatGPT, what does he think about the online dictionary for English learners? Popular dictionaries for English learners online. Okay, here's our list. I decided to choose 7 dictionaries to review and to show you, and ChatGPT gave me actually 6, and the most of them I was gonna review anyways because they were on my list. We will start with one of the dictionary, which is kind of popular. It's number 4 on GPT's list. I don't personally use that dictionary, but I've seen it around, you know, sometimes it pops up in my Google search, and I was surprised to learn this. The Macmillan Dictionary was closed after 14 years of online excellence on June 30th, 2023. Literally just closed. Okay, I am happy not because the dictionary was closed. I'm actually not even happy, I was shocked. That's why I was so excited and smiling. And I decided to give you this note pointing out the reason why the guys were closed. The Macmillan Education announced that it's now not sustainable enough to keep the dictionary up to date. And I think it's such an important point to understand that the dictionaries need to be updated. They need to give us the relevant information, the relevant version of English. And we'll talk more about that in this video. Let's go to the next dictionary. So the next one is Collins Dictionary. And let me choose a word. Let's say we were checking the word caught. I love this word and I'll explain you why I love it later in the videos. And right away, what I can see and what I can like and dislike about this dictionary. I mean, there's colorful, there's a lot of ads, and by the way, I apologize for constantly having IKEA ad on my screen because I'm still setting up in Cyprus and I shop online and you know why. Like I get targeted with all these tables and armchairs. So, okay, we're looking in the Collins Dictionary. It's not the dictionary I personally would use as well, and I'll explain to you why. Right away, I see that we only see one version of the word. Let's listen to it.
Caught.
Caught. And I clearly hear a British version of English. Nothing wrong with British version of English, but I think, me personally, it's very important to understand what kind of language, what kind of English you're learning. British version, American version, simplified international version, or maybe Australian version. And it helps when you have a clear understanding what's your goal. Like, where are you heading with your English? Why do you need it? Then you will know what kind of English you need. And then you will understand what kind of dictionary you should use. Me personally, I prefer American English for various reasons. But never mind that I prefer and I learn American English and I teach and explain and share my experience on learning American English. I love to have 2 transcriptions, British and American, and 2 types of pronunciation, so I can compare and learn the correct one, the relevant one for me. So here I see just one. It's cool that we have audio.
Caught.
Caught. It's cool that we can learn a word. Also, what's interesting, I've done a little research, and Collins Dictionary is a British dictionary. So I know it right away that I won't be using it, but sometimes us English learners, we don't even know like who created the dictionary. And I think it's very nice to be aware of, to do your little research and like, oh, that's kind of where the information comes from. Even though later in this video you will learn that it all comes from Great Britain. Okay. Before jumping into the big guys, I decided to add another dictionary that I use very often. It is a Google Translate dictionary. Funny enough that ChatGPT didn't put it on the list. And I think it has something to do with like OpenAI versus Google. Maybe, I don't know. But I would say this is such a popular dictionary for people to use. Let's open it and see what's good we can take from it. Me personally, I use that one, I would say, more often because it's just so simple and accessible. It's just, you just open it. It's right there and it has different languages. And for example, right now, I live in a country where people speak Greek. My native language is Russian. I'm talking using American English. So there's a lot of translation happening. Or right now, like I'm going to China and I'm translating some stuff. So I need multiple languages accessible. And it's the best option for that, Google Translate. But let's put a word in there. Simple word. Spoon. Spoon. Cool thing. We see translation. Informal definition, which is great. But look at the transcription. What is that? Google, what is that? Oh my God. You could have been #1 if you would have used IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. But you decided, for whatever reason, I've Googled, I'll tell you why. You decided to use your version. So practically what Google does, it uses kind of letters of English to show the sounds of English, which is crazy. I mean, I think it works for some people who knows English, but for us English learners, it can get so confusing. And I like when things are standardized. Am I saying this word correctly? Standardized. You know what I'm talking about. When we can have this unity, when a person from Pakistan and a person from Brazil, we can all open the transcription and understand the sounds. And that's why we use IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. So here, great dictionary. I love it. I use it. I will use it. But come on, guys, get it together with the transcription. Oh my God. I even asked ChatGPT, like, why does Google do it? And they're like, well, they're trying to simplify, but it's confusing. At least it's my opinion. It's my humble opinion. By the way, let me know in comments, what dictionary do you use? Do you have a favorite one? Why is it favorite? Maybe we'll discover a new dictionary together. And I love when we share information. The next one is Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It was recommended to me years ago by another English learner. She was more advanced than myself at that time, and she recommended me this dictionary. Side note, if you're a beginner, I know it might be difficult for you to use English Dictionary because you learn new words and the explanation is in English too, and you might not know all the words. But it's a very useful practice. Even if you don't understand, before checking the translation in Google Translate or another dictionary that has your native language, I really recommend you're making an effort. First, jumping into English Dictionary, any any kind. You can choose any dictionary from this video. I mean, or other, doesn't matter. And first checking it with English, seeing how English-speaking people described the definition of the word. Okay, Merriam-Webster. I love what they have on their website. America's most trusted dictionary. Side note, I really wanted to find a dictionary that would help me with my process of learning American English that was made in America by Americans. But it was not possible. And you'll see why. Okay, America's most trusted dictionary. Let's open it. Let's look at the word tall. Okay, first we see right away. We don't see options with the transcription and pronunciation. We see just one option. Let's listen to it.
Tall.
Okay, that sounds pretty American. And we have the definitions, different options. But another example, the biggest problem that I personally have, the transcription. This symbol, O with kind of stress mark, it's not a symbol from International Phonetic Alphabet. Which brings us to the question, why? Why, when they have a simple solution, why would they not use it? I don't understand. Okay, doesn't matter. So for me, I will close it right away. Even though they have nice things and synonyms, chooser and synonyms, which is cool if you're just trying to learn about language. Example sentences, which is great, but come on, guys, it's very important for us. We want to see it. It's not here. So sorry, I'm closing it. Okay, now when we're done with my not favorite dictionaries, I'm sorry, I have favorites. We will jump into my favorite 3 dictionaries. And I want to start with one that I've been using for many years, and I recommended it to people. And I'll show you why, and you'll see it for yourself. It's a Longman Dictionary. I love that one. Let's jump right in. Let's put the word tall. Right away, we see 2 transcriptions, British and American. By the way, now looking at it as like a first time dictionary opener person, I would love to see and to understand which one is American, which is British. But now I know that the left one is British, the right one is American. And we could hear, oh, here it is. And we could hear both pronunciation. See, you see British pronunciation of tall, American pronunciation of tall. Let's take a listen.
Tall.
Tall, very British.
Tall.
Tall, American. Love it, love it, love it. And I love that actually it is shown together. I love that right away you could spot the difference. And if you're anything like me who's really trying to learn the proper version of pronunciation and tries to understand how the language sounds, how to be close to the native speaking people, and I think it's very helpful. And also you see the signs of relevance, these dots that show you that this word is very popular, learn it, la la la. And we see the examples of the sentences, and we see different definitions. For example, if I open the word run, which is very popular but has a lot of definitions. Race, It's nice to see different examples. I think it's very helpful. So I've been using this dictionary as my #1 for a long time. I didn't even know who created it, Americans or British. It didn't matter to me because it did the job. So what happened? A couple of years ago, we've started working on a project, Lola Speak. It's an app for English learners. It's released. You can use it, you can see it. That helps people to practice speaking English. And then we started developing things that would help people to improve their pronunciation. And so in this context, it was very important to show the most accurate transcription of the word to an English learner. And first I was like, let's use Longman Dictionary because I love it, I use it, and we needed this reference point because it's not only me, it's other people on the team who would use the dictionary and would put the transcription in the app so users can see it. But big thing, and I'll show you with example, the word city. Big thing is that languages evolve, specifically American English. And some sounds that already exist in language, they are not reflected in the dictionary. So one of the biggest differences in American English is, for example, a flap T sound that sounds like d, d. We don't say city, we say city. And city, British version, is different. And I think it's a completely different sound, and I want it to be reflected in the dictionary. So now let's open Longman and let's see. We see only one transcription, which is so sad. Yes, they don't use flap T, like they don't use a special symbol in this dictionary, so you don't know the difference. Good thing that if you listen to how it sounds, we will hear the difference. British version.
City.
City. American.
City.
City. I mean, you could hear it to yourself. They are different.
City.
City.
Two different sounds, but we don't see it in the transcription. And even though they're using IPA, which is great, is very standardized. It's cool, it's very standardized, but we need this symbol. So thank you for everything, Longman, but I had to move on. So that brought me to the two top, most popular, most commonly used, and most accurate dictionaries for English learners online. Oxford English Dictionary and Cambridge English Dictionary. Both are originated in Great Britain. By the way, Longman was originated in Great Britain as well by Thomas Longman, as Google said. They're doing their job great, so it doesn't matter where it comes from as long as they give me the relevant version of language. Okay, let's jump into the Oxford Dictionary and let's check the word tall.
Tall, 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 tall.
So, cool thing, they use IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. We love it. We hear British version. We hear American version. We see the explanation, the examples, idioms. Great, great, great. But my biggest problem with them was the choice of the sounds in some of the words. If you're new to language, you won't notice the difference. If you're deep down in your English learning journey, you know that there are a variety of OA sounds. And in my native language, I think we have just one. Nah, probably different. Anyways, it's not just ah, it's different kind of OA. And it's important to understand the difference. So America is a huge country that has a lot of dialects, and the way people speak on the West Coast and on the East Coast differ. So I spent the majority of my time in America. For 10 years, I've been living in LA, which is West Coast. And the way people speak on the West Coast is different. I feel that all the transcriptions that Oxford Dictionary offers is close to the East Coast. It's still a great dictionary. Let's check the word city. Oh.
City.
Not that great, because they don't show the flap T too.
City.
City. We hear the difference. It's not reflected in the dictionary. Even though overall it's such a solid dictionary, and I think it's very useful. Which brings me to the dictionary that I decided on using for our application and personally in my life, Cambridge Dictionary. I'll show you around. I think it's a cool dictionary. It's not perfect. It's important to understand that none of the dictionaries are perfect. And let's check the word tall, which I like. Awesome. We see both British version. It's written then it's UK. I love it.
Tall.
And we see the American version.
Tall.
Tall. It sounds different. It's shown in the transcription using International Phonetic Alphabet that these two sounds are different, and we see it, we could hear it. It's amazing. We hear the examples, we see the examples. I think it's just the most accurate. And now let's check city, which is important. Great. We see that this T, they use this little that shows that it's flap T, that it's different. It's different from British.
City.
City and
City.
city, and it's reflected in the transcription, so we know what's up. And also what they do, they put this little dot to separate syllables, which I think is very helpful if you're trying to pronounce a long, difficult word. It's nice to break it down and pronounce it syllable by syllable. And then let me open very difficult word like overwhelming. Overwhelming. See? Overwhelming. We can pronounce each of these syllables, so we can pronounce the whole word. Overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And hear how it sounds.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Amazing. Love it. So that's why we've decided on using Cambridge Dictionary. And I'm very grateful that they're trying their best to keep it up to date. And now a cliffhanger for this video. I found mistake. I make a lot of mistakes myself. I mean, can you count them? No, nobody can count. We don't have enough fingers to count my mistakes. I'm not perfect, neither do you. It's all right. But I've actually emailed them saying like, hey, can you fix this word? Can you fix this word? Because I've been spotting some mistakes while doing my research. And they responded to me that, oh yeah, we'll take a look, we'll take into the consideration. Nothing has changed yet. It's been months, but we're hoping that they will fix the mistakes in the dictionary. And since we had Macmillan Dictionary closed, I wanted to throw in another dictionary that it's not the most popular one, but it's very cool and useful, and I would not be a speaker that I am today without this dictionary. I'm talking about the Urban Dictionary. Oh my God, I hope you know what I'm talking about. If you're trying to learn the spoken version of English, you need this dictionary because there's a lot of slang, there's a lot of words that are being created daily. For example, let's jump into the Cambridge and say the definition of slay. And first out we see the classical definition, to kill in a violent way, right? To murder someone. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And only after that we see the informal, to impress. So the Urban Dictionary would understand that we're requesting something from the spoken English, so it will give us the most accurate version. Killed it, succeeded in something amazing. Miley's new album, Slayed It. And I love how they, first of all, you see who kind of gave the definition. So it's all user generated, which is cool. And also the examples are very up to date. That's real English. That's current, that's created by real people, by native speakers and English language users. And I love that dictionary. I'm very grateful that they exist. Of course, I can't use it as my main dictionary because they don't have all this nice transcriptions and definitions, but it's my favorite, like go-to if I can't find an answer. So I hope this video helped you to pick a dictionary for you. I apologize if I'm biased. Now it's very popular to apologize for whatever you do, so I'm apologizing in advance. I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what for. Dear haters, I'm so sorry. And the last but not the least, if you're an English learner, you need to practice. That's why we have Lola Speak, a tool that gives you an opportunity to practice English daily. Listen to Americans, speak with them, have AI analyzing your speech, get constant feedback, progress, learn, evolve. If this video was useful, consider subscribing, like this video, like, and leave a comment below requesting another topic that you want me to make a video on. See you soon. Bye!